Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome, I'm Stefania. Today, it's time to do a little flip through of my reading journal. I know I'm so late with this one because it's gonna be a flip through of July, not about August, but about the pages that I've created in July. I know I'm behind, but as I've said in my other videos, I'm extremely busy with work, and so I have very little time to work on videos. So here I am at the end of August doing my flip through of July, and I don't have an idea of when I will be able to do the flip through of August because it's gonna happen pretty soon. Anyway, as you can see, this notebook is done, or better, it's so full that there's no more space for August, so with July I've finished this one. But as I've previously said, my yearly pages will still be in this one. I will keep updating them here and I will not move them to a new notebook. Let's start from the yearly pages. In July, I've read only 4 books, but 3 of them were longer compared to other books that I read in the previous months. But I'm really happy with the books because even if I've read only 4 books, 3 of them were amazing. And of course I've had them here. Here I've updated my book log. Reading tracker, as you can see, I've managed to read each single day even in July, and I'm so happy. And this is so weird because as I've said, I'm so busy with work and I wasn't expecting to read this much because yes, I've read only 4 books, but if you're gonna go and look at the number of pages, I've only read more pages in January. All the other months, I've read less pages. Anyway, I'm so happy because my goal is to read a little bit every single day, and so far, as you can see, everything is filled in, so I'm right on track and I'm so happy. Books of 2023. These are the 4 books that I read in July. And as always, my notebook is breaking in different parts and I'm not so happy about it, but my favorite book for July is Cursed Crowns. I loved it. Favorite books, even if I said that the books that I read in July were great books, I reached only 4 stars and half. I don't have a single book from July which is a 5 stars for me. I'm extremely picky when it comes to the 5 stars, so this page is still the same one. Monthly read, I've written down here the 4 books. And it was a month of fantasy, because all I've read was fantasy. Series tracker. Okay, this is the series that I've had it this month. And one is Le Cinque Rive, which is by an Italian author. Twin Crowns. And then technically I've heard that Violet Made of Thorns has also a second book, but since I've decided I will not read it, I've decided not to add the series here. That's quite easy. Bingo, honestly, I don't remember what I've colored. Maybe nothing at all, I don't remember it. What I'm still missing is 50 books, a thriller, which I don't know, maybe I'll be able to cross it with August. Actually, yes. A book which is going viral on social media, I would say. 60 books, which is my goal for the year, and completing a whole reading challenge. So these 2 are gonna be quite hard to fill in before December, I guess. Goodreads challenge, as I've said, I want to reach 60 books, and with July I've added 4 more, so I would say I'm quite right on track, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm exactly on track or I'm a book behind, but it's fine. Rainbow challenge, I forgot to update it as always, so if you're new, basically it is in all my flip through. I started well in January, February, and then I just forgot about this page. So I will probably fill in this one in December at the end of the year by looking at my previously spreads and just add the covers if I feel like doing it. Un anno in rosa challenge, it was fantasy romance, and I've decided to pick Cursed Crowns for this one, but I still have to print the cover because I was sure to have it, but apparently I still have to print it. A to Z challenge, I don't know if I'm gonna manage to fill this one in. I guess probably no, which is something that doesn't surprise me. My other challenges, which are these two, one is from, you can find on different social media, also here on YouTube, but the other one I found on Storygraph, which I've basically stopped using. I've started the year with the idea of using a little bit more Goodreads, but then I was in love with Storygraph and all the stats that they give you. But I think I've stopped updating Storygraph probably in February or March. So yeah. Honestly, I forgot to check these things, so right now they're exactly the same way as last month. It's pointless to look at them. I think I'm gonna update them next month if I'm gonna be able to remember. Who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. I also updated my generous page, and then it's time for my reading stats. I've read 4 books, and they were all physical books, so I've read 0 ebook. I've read 2,093 pages, I read for 31 days, 2 books were in English and 2 others in Italian, and according to this wonderful thing of the rating system tab here, I can tell you that I gave 1 3 stars and a half, 1 4 stars, and 2 4 stars and a half. And that's it for the yearly pages. I think that right now we can go straight to the monthly pages, because as always the yearly pages is more like let's say a flip through, which technically should be pretty fast, but I know I'm extremely slow and my flip through are always incredibly long. Like, I don't know how my flip through would be if I would be a person who would read more than 10 or 13 books in a month. My flip through would be like hours and hours and hours. Anyway, as always, my Playing With Me videos is online in case you want to go and check it out. Here there are the same stats that I've just said, and the 4 books that I read. My favorite book for the month was Cursed Crowns. The worst of the month, I've decided to go with Violet Made of Thorns. As you can see, in July I've read 5 books, or better 4 of them, and I've started the 5th book, but this is gonna be in August because I finished it in August. I really like this layout. I really like this layout. This is always gonna stay forever, people, forever. I just love it. Reading tracker, I'm so happy because not only I've read each single day, but I would say that this month I've definitely read more pages compared to other months, so I'm so happy. I mean, this year it has never been like this, never, so I'm so happy. Books of July, which is a page that's gonna be in my reading journal until December, and then I'll just forget about it because I'm not really interested into it anymore. I have other spreads that work amazingly, and this turned out to be pointless at this point. And then I'm gonna start with the spreads that are created for the 4 books. As always, I'm gonna avoid talking too much about the books because I don't want to give any spoilers. I'm gonna start with the first book, and as you can see, my notebook is falling in pieces. I don't know if it's visible on camera, but you see that here is like breaking all here, and I'm hating this, like really hating it. This was the first book that I read not this month, in July, and was Le Cinque Rive, Gli Anni delle Fiamme. It's a book by an Italian author. Here's the thing, I loved this one, I loved it. I'm so happy that when I've started it, it was actually announced that it wasn't a standalone book anymore, because this came out as a standalone book, but guys, no, this isn't a standalone, trust me, no at all. If this would have been a standalone, I wouldn't have rated it this high. No. I wouldn't have rated it with so many stars, because as a first one of a series, it's an amazing start. Amazing. It's extremely well made. The world building is outstanding. It's full of details, but it's not boring. It's not one of these book that is full of descriptions and you get tired of them and they're boring and you skip parts. No, for me it was amazing. I was reading it and I was like living in this world and I loved it so much. The characters, they're well made. It's crazy how perfect they are, but not because they're perfect character, but because of how they've been created. Like the main character, Bram, is definitely a person that you would literally punch a few times in life, but people like that actually exist in real life and it's just made so perfectly. Like I can't go out of... I don't know how to explain it. Also because I know that this book is only available in Italian, and so probably nobody of you will read this book, but it's worth your time. It's a little bit long, but it's amazing. It's well made and I can't wait for the second to come out, but I'll have to wait until 2024 and I'm not so happy about it. It's amazing. I really loved it. And another thing that I loved is that even if technically there should be two main characters, because usually that's what you're expecting, in this one all the characters are so well made that you're not able to tell this one isn't a main character. They are all main characters and I love them all. And I can't wait for the second one because this one left me with so many questions and I need the second one as soon as possible. I loved it, it's crazy. Then I decided to read Twin Crowns, which I've actually read with a reading group, and I loved it. I don't know, I just loved the vibe. And if you want more details about this one and what I think about this book, you can find a video on my channel where I've just created actually this spread with you while I was talking about the book. I loved it so much that once I was done, I had to move straight to the second one because I was in love with this one. And even if this one was like a 4 stars, so a very lovely and good read, I wasn't expecting it, but the second one for me was better. I don't know, maybe it's because in this one, in the first one, a few things happen, but here there's so much happening, but it's not made in a way that's gonna confuse you. It's well made, there's a lot happening, but you can keep it up with everything. I loved it. And I know that by the end of August, so probably the next few days, they're gonna come out with the third one, or better, announce the title and make a cover reveal, and I can't wait for it to be out because I need it. This one, I mean, when I finished it, I was like, oh, nerve! I have to wait another few months because apparently even this one is gonna come out in 2024 for the next one. And then I guess that's the moment which I told myself, this is why you've never started series that weren't finished yet. Because you can't wait. I just can't. And I'm hating myself for breaking this rule this year because now I have a lot of series that I've started but I can't finish because the book is still not out. I'm still waiting for it. Which is the same reason why I still haven't started Christian City. I know it's gonna come out in January. Probably when the third one is gonna come out, I will go and do a big full immersion, so first, second and third. But yeah, that's life. And then I've started and finished Violet Made of Thorns. I had high expectation for this one. I was sure I would have loved it because I was in love with the plot. I've heard good reviews, so I was so happy that when it came out in Italy, I was like, oh yes, it's here. So I actually bought the Italian version, but the problem isn't the version, so the translation. No. The problem for me is that this book starts amazingly. The story seems pretty well at the beginning. The characters are interesting. The world building isn't anything crazy, honestly, it's pretty basic, but it's fine. The problem is that around a certain point in the book, a little bit before the middle, it's like everything went down, so the characters stopped there. I don't know. I was left down by this book, honestly, because it started so amazingly. And then, even the ending, I'm not okay with this ending. I'm not fine. It's just like let's rush through the book just to finish it. Like, okay, I don't want to have any more pages. Let's do it now. I just was very disappointed, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna read the second book because how this one ends, well, it's not like it's telling me you have to read the second one. Go and read it. Nope. Not at all. Because honestly, I could have a question or two, but I'm fine even without having answers. Again, I have a certain amount of time to read, and I don't want to waste it to read a book that I'm not looking forward to read. So I guess that with Violet Made of Thorns, for me, it will be a standalone. I know technically a second book should come out, but I will not read it. So yes, this is basically what I've read in July. I was wondering, have you read these books? Yes? No? You're planning on reading them? I'm gonna be honest, they weren't, especially the first, second, third book of the month, were a little bit long, but they were pretty good, so I really enjoyed July. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumb up and remember to subscribe for more videos like this one. Let me know with a comment what you've read in July, and stay tuned because I'm gonna work on my August flip through as soon as possible, and it's gonna be available on the channel if I'm lucky by the second week of September. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye!